About 2 years ago, I made a video comparing Dyson's $649 Pure Cool fan to a fan that I found at Walmart for 15 bucks. The results of the test that I did in that video were mind-blowing. Not only did the $15 Walmart fan outperform the Dyson in the wind speed tests, but it was also much quieter than the Dyson at its maximum power level. But you guys had some concerns. Over and over again, I saw comments like, "Mark, that Dyson fan has an air purifier built in. Wouldn't that, restrict airflow and make the fan louder?" Truth is, I don't know for sure, but today we're gonna find out together because I just bought yet another Dyson fan. This is Dyson's AM07 tower fan, also known as the Dyson Cool. It's essentially the same as the Dyson Pure Cool minus the air purifier and the smart features. I also bought a brand new $15 Walmart fan. And we're gonna compare these two by doing the exact same wind speed and sound tests as last time, but just for fun, we're also gonna add a third test. We're gonna test power draw to see which fan is more efficient. So let's start with the Dyson. The AM07 is a pretty simple tower fan. It comes with a little remote for turning on or turning off the fan, for changing the oscillation direction, turning up or turning down the fan speed, and for setting a timer. When you press these buttons, the fan has a little LCD screen at the base of it to give you some information about what you're doing. It doesn't have all the smart features that the Pure Cool has, but it's also a solid 200 bucks cheaper. The question is, does it perform well? Let's find out. First up, we're gonna test how much power this fan draws from the wall. A lot of people were wondering if the Dyson was more efficient than a traditional fan, so we're gonna test it out. To do that, I plugged the Dyson into my EcoFlow portable battery. It's actually got a power meter built in that will give us the wattage that the fan is drawing at any given moment. At level 10, which is the fan's maximum output, we were drawing 56 watts total. Now that sounded a little bit high to me, so I plugged in the traditional fan to compare, and sure enough, the $15 Walmart fan was only drawing around 35 watts, which is about 38% less power. Here's the thing though. The Walmart fan only has 3 speed settings. The Dyson has 10. If I reduce the output of the Dyson to level 6 or 7, it only draws between 22 and 28 watts of power. That's less power than the Walmart fan at its lowest output. So unless you're running the Dyson at full power all the time, it's probably gonna be more efficient for you. But what does full power look like in terms of wind speed? To test the actual airspeed output of each of these fans, I'm using one of these, an anemometer. These things measure wind speed by letting moving air turn the turbine at the top, and then it translates that rotational speed into a reading in miles per hour on the screen. At 3 feet away, the Dyson AM07 puts out a total wind speed of 6.5 miles per hour. Compared to the Dyson air purifying fan that I tested last time, this new Dyson fan without the air purifier puts out much faster air. Not surprising that you guys were right, an air filtration system definitely does restrict airflow a little bit. But is it enough to defeat the $15 Walmart fan that I just bought? This is a 16-inch Mainstays pedestal fan that I bought quite literally yesterday. It's only got 3 power levels, it's got no remote control, and it's very cheaply made. However, it still manages to beat both the Dyson fans at their maximum power level. This little Walmart fan can output wind up to 7.1 miles per hour at a distance of 3 feet. It's not over yet though, not by a long shot. I also measured both fans at a distance of 6 feet, and this is where things start to change. The Dyson is actually able to hold its airspeed better at a longer distance. At 6 feet away, the Dyson only drops from 6.5 miles per hour to 6 miles per hour, whereas the Walmart fan drops from 7.1 all the way to 5.1. It's also worthwhile to note that the Dyson has much more fine control over the amount of air that you can output. At 6 feet away, it ranges from 6 miles per hour all the way down to 1.6 miles per hour through the 10 different power levels. The Walmart fan, on the other hand, only goes from 5.1 down to 3.8 at its minimum power. So it seems like the tables have turned a bit, and our $15 Walmart fan isn't looking quite as attractive as the much more expensive air multiplying Dyson fan. But what if, instead of buying the cheapest fan I could possibly find, I splurged a little and bought this $24 Navia fan? It's normally 50 bucks, but it's on clearance, so that counts, right? If we bring the Navia fan into the mix, we can see that it destroys both the Dyson fan and the cheaper Walmart fan in our 3-foot wind speed test. But once again, it ever so slightly falls behind the Dyson in the 6-foot test. That leads me to believe that the Dyson is actually moving more air in total across the whole ring than the other 2 fans are, which makes sense. It's taller, it's got more surface area, yet it's not far off in wind speed than the other 2 fans. We're not done yet though. I have one final test to run, the sound test. The last Dyson fan I tested was loud, really loud. And if you're not a fan of loud noises, you might be a little bit turned off the Dyson fans. In this case, the Dyson AM07 fan was actually louder than the air purifying Dyson fan, which was very surprising to me. You'd think that with the filter restricting airflow inside, the purifying fan would be the louder one, but that's not actually the case. These Dyson fans have a bit of a high-pitched whine to them at the maximum power that's a little bit unpleasant. They do get very quiet at the lower end of the power output, but if you want to run them at the higher output all the time, be prepared to have a bit of a loud fan in your room. The thing is, the other two Walmart fans were almost just as loud as their maximum output. They definitely don't have the same high frequency pitch to them or whine. This is more of like a low droning sound, but the numbers on the sound meter don't lie, they're still pretty loud. So this AM07 Dyson fan without the air purifier definitely did better than the one I tested a couple of years ago in terms of its air output. However, for just over 400 Canadian dollars, I just don't see the value. I mean, I could buy 10 of these Walmart fans and I still wouldn't have come close to the money I would spend on a single Dyson fan. Yes, the Dyson fans look a lot cooler, they're easier to clean, and they're safer for kids because there's not any exposed blades here. But I'm still gonna stick with the good old traditional fan. You just can't beat the value. Hope you liked the video, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.